Which psychological trick should everyone know about? If someone is trying to make you decide in a hurry, they are probably giving you a bad deal. Walk away. This makes good sense in a lot of situations, including parenting. I've often said, under pressure, if you need an answer right now, it's no, but maybe you can give me some time to think about it. If someone has a panic attack, start breathing really regularly and loudly. Even if it's really obvious, that person is panicking and probably won't notice, but they will start breathing in tempo with you. It's something nurses do with patients in A&E when they can't get themselves together. If you feel lazy doing something that you don't want to do, like getting up at 4 a.m. to work out, count 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 and get up. It will get easier after a while as you create habits. To add to this, if you sometimes just promise yourself you'll work on it for only 5 minutes and then you can stop, you will most likely just work on it until the task is done or after it's been a few hours. Once we start something, it's easier for our brains to just keep doing it. The hard part is starting something new, and stuff usually isn't as bad as we fear it will be. So maybe it can be the 5 to 5 rule. Count down from 5 and then get up, and then say if you absolutely can't stand it, it will only last for 5 minutes. Nervousness and excitement have the same body reaction, so if you're nervous for a speech, instead convince yourself you're excited. It's proven to give better speeches too. Get your butterflies flying in formation. Anytime I have to give a presentation, I tell myself that, and it helps. And likewise, when you stop feeling nervous about giving speeches, make sure you find a way to hype yourself back up for them. Believe it or not, when you've done the same thing over and over again, the battle becomes making sure you still have good energy. I like to make sure I'm still a little nervous. Physical contact makes you more likely to say yes to a request. I'll make sure to hold my SO's hand when proposing to them. Sometimes pretending that you are Naya gets you more information. I like using this one. If I act like I know everything I need to know about a project, the people I'm working with will likely assume that's true. If I act like I don't know everything about it, someone will likely take the time to explain it to me. I've noticed that usually when I get someone to explain something to me in a situation like this, they'll explain it in a subtly different way that I may have understood it, and then I understand it that much better. Sometimes the new level of understanding leads to being able to contribute new ideas to improve whatever it is that we're working on. Do you know that I give you money for uploading my videos to TikTok, and the one who gains the most views in a month gets an extra $1,000? More details on my Discord server, link in the comments. Tried and true. Looking straight ahead while walking in a crowd usually makes people move out of your way. I read somewhere that as humans we trace the eyes and avoid walking in people's eye lines. If you're on a collision course with someone, say, a wall of 4 or more teenagers who think you're some sort of apparition, stop dead in your tracks and stare at them, guaranteed they will either go around you or flee in turn. If you need to remember something, think about it while doing something noticeably unusual. This will pair the memory with the something so that when it is noticed later on, it will trigger that particular memory. I need to take out the garbage before going to bed. Put your pillow at the foot of your bed. This is a good one. Sometimes I'll do things like leave an object in a weird place. Then I see it and go, what the abo? If someone annoying is at your office at work and won't get the hint to leave you alone, print something and ask them to follow you while you grab it off the printer, then walk them back to their office instead of going back to yours. They'll usually sit down without realizing what's going on, thinking that they chose to go back. That's great, I'll have to try it. Another good version of this is when you have had enough, just stand up from your chair while you talk to them. This works for me on almost everyone apart from one person in the office who just continues awkwardly standing there in silence for far too long. Get people to contribute to an idea and they will be more likely to accept it. Studies show that it doesn't take that much involvement in the creative process to get people to take possession of a proposed plan. These steps were created by Deverjon Cotter and typically refer to organizational change. However, change happens in daily life and isn't limited to business. Taking them slightly out of context but keeping the fundamental message allows for change management theory to work within most contexts. There are actual steps to change that have been proven to work. These are the 8 steps of managing change. 1. Create a sense of urgency. Make people aware of the need for change. 2. Establish teams. This allows for communication and cooperation. 3. Create a vision. Establish as clearly and concisely as possible what the change will be so that everyone can visualize it. 4. Communication. Talk about why this change is essential, bring in others, and allow them to voice their concerns too. 5. Removal of any obstacles that can ultimately undermine the vision. 6. Generate short-term wins. This motivates people to perform and see that the change is actually working. 7. Don't get cocky, kid. Declaring that change is prematurely successful is the key to failure. Maintain short-term goals. Establish that any long-term win is going to take time. hate. Making them concrete, change is successful when it becomes a habit, when it is universally accepted by all involved and is continually supported. Whenever a friend tries to tell you something that you already know, it's best to let them. It makes them feel good to show you something and for you to enjoy it. Sometimes if you say, "Oh, I already saw that," it'll upset them a little bit. Another how to get people to like you trick like this is, when conversing with someone, after they finish up their story, ask them at least one question about it before you jump into your story. It shows that you're listening and interested in them, making them feel important. I hate it when people are just waiting for their turn to talk. While talking to someone, ask through hand gestures for something the person is holding. They'll probably have it. Conversely, hand someone something while talking. They'll accept it most of the time. I do this at work as a server. I just hold my hand out while I talk to them and they hand me what they don't need. Saves a step and sometimes awkwardness of asking. When a group of people laugh, they tend to look at the person they like the most. Wow, I didn't know that so many people like me. They usually look right at me when they laugh. Now what does the pointing represent? 3-minute rule. If it takes less than 3 minutes, do it and you will feel better. Examples: making bed, doing dishes, etc. It makes you feel the tiniest bit better if you're dealing with depression. Maybe I will start brushing my teeth. If you whisper to someone, they'll whisper back even if there's no reason to keep your voice down. Also, people will pay closer attention to what you're saying. Compliments are very important for self-esteem and the building of character. Don't be afraid to tell someone how nice they look or that they're doing a good job, even if it doesn't seem like it at the moment. It will make me feel a bit better and they will appreciate it. Yeah, I love giving compliments. It's free and makes that person happy. Way to comment. Good job. If you want to avoid office politics, say good things about coworkers behind their backs. If you want to avoid drama in any situation, say kind things behind people's backs. Word gets around that you think highly of them and they start to think highly of you in turn. It's worked for me in school, work, and social situations. Even just something like "X is so nice" gets you far. When someone is speaking about something they enjoy, give cues for them to keep going, like say, "Wait, so you're saying?" "No, are you serious?" "Hold on, I don't get that last part." Basically, active listening. More of a skill than a trick, I guess. It's a great way to get on people's good side. You share nothing about yourself, but they walk away thinking you are a great person. "Wait, so you're saying" is something you have to be careful with though. They might think you have no clue what they're talking about or you're putting words in their mouth. If you think someone is watching you, fake a yawn, then watch them. This is some CIA level shit. If you ask someone, "What color is your shirt?" immediately before playing rock, paper, scissors, they almost always choose scissors. Just test it on my grandma and it worked. Get wrecked, grandma. I knew about this trick, and when people asked for the color of my shirt, I would choose paper instead because I knew the trick. I won a lock of rock, paper, scissors. Who the figured this out, Mao? When you see someone you know on the way to work, for example, smile a little wider when you see them, and smile with your eyes, the kind where the smile makes you squint a little bit. It can brighten people's day a little, making them feel like someone else is happy they're around. I smile with my mouth only to make their day a little creepier. Always give a person 2 choices. Give the non-preferred option first, including its negative effects. Pause. Give the preferred option, shining light on its better effects. I have to do this in customer service all the time. If option 1 is something that will take forever and not the best option, I'll bring it up first as a "well, I can do," and then suggest option 2, which would be easier for everyone involved, and pitch my voice a little higher, which can make someone think I'm smiling, and say, "Or, I can even do it." And 9 out of 10 times they'll go for the second option. Neuroplasticity. Your brain and mindset can be changed throughout your lifetime. For example, if you're a negative person, your brain and neurological structure will literally be changed by your constant negative thinking. This reinforces more negative thinking and other health issues. The good news is that you can rewire and change your brain through establishing and maintaining better, more positive habits. Your brain will adapt and adjust. Fake it till you make it can actually go a long way in terms of shifting your mindset and mental health. Therapy helps too. Everyone should know the classic negotiation strategies that people will use on you. Anchoring bias. You go to buy a couch worth about $200. Seller sets the price at $400. Most people will feel awkward offering half price, and during negotiating the seller will protest a 50% offer. You're at a job interview. The interviewer always has a salary that they are not able to go above. You are asked for your preference salary range. Now your job is really worth about 60, but you throw out 80 and make it clear that you have other prospects. The interviewer can't offer you 80, that's silly, but they may raise their offer to 65 or even 70 if you are a good catch. Basically, whoever puts a number out first is in the position to set the anchor, a starting point for negotiation. Foot in the door, your friend asked you to help him move his couch to a different place in the living room. After moving the couch, he asked you to also help him move the TV, then maybe the fridge. Your girlfriend and you are out at a burger joint. She doesn't want anything, but asks for some of your fries. Before long, after eating most of your fries, she asks for a bite of your burger, and before long, she's eaten most of your food. To sum it up, to use your foot in the door, ask for something that seems small, but is related to what you really want. Then once they've agreed to the small thing, just work up with slightly larger requests until you've achieved the desired outcome. Door in the face. Your mooch friend is back and asks for $500 to help with rent. You refuse because he's a grown man and that's just way too much. He apologizes and asks instead if you could spare $20 for gas. You agree. You're buying a car from a private seller offered at $5,000. You had a friend go to the seller before you and offer $2,000 cash in hand. The seller is insulted and refuses. You come the next day and offer $4,000 cash in hand, and suddenly $4,000 sounds much better. To use this, offer or ask for something crazy. After the other party refuses, come back with what you really intended to offer or request all along, which now seems much more reasonable in comparison. Now, these are brief explanations and can vary depending on what blog or book or bathroom stall you read it in. And folks, try to use this info only for good, don't be a jerk. If you haven't watched my other videos, then be sure to watch this one. I bet it will amaze you. Or you can watch all our videos in a row in this playlist. Write your stories in the comments, subscribe, turn on the bell, and go to our Discord. There we give you money for uploading our videos to TikTok. You uploaded, you gained views, you got money. Link in the comments.